Hello everybody and welcome back to Medieval Total War and our campaign as the Holy Roman Empire of the Germans. It is 1244 AD and we are plotting out our next moves here. So let's take a look at the status here of our glorious achievements points. Remember, this is what it's all going to come down to. And considering the ups and downs we've had, considering some of the very near disasters it feels like we've courted, we're doing quite well in terms of the glorious achievements points. Now, of course, none of this matters if we end up getting clobbered and our faction gets eliminated, but I don't think that's terribly likely. I mean, you never know. Something horrible could happen here. But I think we've maintained a pretty decent balance of power all around us. Now, there are some neighbors that we have not been tested against yet, but I think we've been fairly resilient. We've been just scraping by just enough, and so I think we're in a decent position. In terms of points, we're number 2. We're quite well situated here. Only the Byzantines are doing better. Look at all the points that we are going to collect next time the point collection comes around in about 6 more years. And the Byzantines, look at them. They've lost a lot of their homelands, so they're only going to be making, I guess that's 8 points next time. So we will overtake them. We will be number 1 unless something goes catastrophically wrong, which I guess it could. Hungarians, number 3 spot, doing very well, but we are going to beat them out. So again, if we just maintain the status quo, simply by continuing to exist, simply by continuing to hold our position, we would eventually get farther and farther ahead of them. Now, they may not maintain the status quo. They may continue conquering. Every province they get gets them another point for glorious achievements, and there's a lot of territory for them to take over in the east now because the Golden Horde has emerged, and they have emerged somewhat disappointingly in a sense. If you start an early campaign, the Horde emerges, 120 years or so into the action. So by that point, the factions on the map, especially in the east, have had plenty of time to build themselves up to absorb the losses. So the Byzantines were very strong. They even, have maintained something of a decent presence despite this. They've got territory in Egypt, which I don't expect them to lose anytime soon, and they've still got Constantinople and Greece. They may be in some dire straits at some point, but they're not at war with the Hungarians. They're not yet at war with the French, and so I think they're going to maintain their position. They also have a pretty strong position in Naples. They own Sicily, and they've even got Sardinia, so there's a bit of westward expansion in the Byzantines. They're doing a little bit better than you would expect by looking at this part of the map. The Egyptians are hurting, I would say. They've got a pretty sad-looking sultan here with only 2 influence, and they've got a bit in Syria. They've got a couple of provinces in Cyrenaica, or a couple of armies, rather. These are okay, but they don't have a great general, and I don't know if they have anything out west. So the Egyptians, I don't think, are going to do too well. They're also, of course... they're not at war with the Horde. Okay, well, maybe they will be soon, because the Horde is expanding in Anatolia, except when they are sort of slowed down by these rebellions. So this is another point in favor of the Byzantines. I think they're going to be sticking around for a while, because the Horde does this. They expand, they come on really strong in the first few years, but then they hit a point where they just can't keep up the momentum, and the other factions get to sort of swing back at them. Now, the Hungarians, as we've said, I think are capable of holding on because the Horde has not done that well. They've not gotten into Kiev. I don't know that they've gotten too far into the northwest, but we kind of may want to check that out. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. The thing that is a little concerning now, of course, is that the Hungarians, of course, are at war with us. And they've got pretty reasonable-sized armies with reasonable generals in the area. Their armies are not only reasonable in terms of size, but in terms of quality. I mean, it's kind of funny for me to be saying that of what's an army of archers, peasants, and basic spearmen, but they've all got armor upgrades of some variety. And so even these low-tier units are going to be a match for our low-tier trash, which we're throwing over. So that's going to be the problem there. Now, in terms of the specific achievements, we've got this Hanseatic League, which may be a bug that we get these points. We'll see if they actually end up adding to the tally, I guess, is the other question I would have. But the only one that we don't really have to my satisfaction here is the Holy Roman Empire. We get one more shot at this. We get 6 years to make this happen. And that would require us, for this to be a full, pleasing 6 red pips here, we would need to get Rome and Naples. That would be adding 2 wars. That would be adding a war with the Pope, of course, and adding a war with the Byzantines. Now, the Byzantine War could be a very short one. Theoretically, what I'm thinking is if we go for Naples and Sicily and then move our boats away from all the Byzantine shores for a year, we're back at peace. So we could find ourselves in possession of some very rich southern Italian territory. Look at these tradable goods here. Sicily's making over 3,000 a turn right now. And that's even with the Byzantines, whose fleets are not really set up to do that much trade. They are trading up here into these sea regions, but not any further west and not any further east. Imagine if our trade network were plugged into Sicily. And then, of course, Naples, almost 500 a turn, a couple of tradable goods here. Again, this is a very nice, sort of a cul-de-sac, in that this is the end of a land border, basically. So taking these two would just be really nice to have. This would also, as some viewers have mentioned, help maintain our fleets, because the support cost for your fleets does depend on how far away you are from a friendly port or a port that you own. So right now, the closest port that I own is in Genoa, I guess. And so that's why it's costing 37 for this caravel outside of Sicily. Barks here are costing 40 for these two. This one is probably going to be more expensive. No, 40, I guess. Well, because he's 2 sea regions away as well, because we own the port up here in Venice. But basically, owning this would cut down our support costs a little bit. So that would be a nice little bonus. So what I'm thinking is we may want to... I know I've been avoiding excommunication this entire campaign, but seeing we've only got 6 years to get that Holy Roman Empire mission, and we could then basically connect a contiguous land kingdom all the way into southern Italy. The Pope is also looking kind of weak here. He's 52. He's only got a couple of units in Rome itself, right? Not too bad. He's also got a castle here with quite a lot of upgrades. Got a monastery, 40% farming. The income here, actually, it's better than I thought, 681. There's no trade goods in Rome, but I guess the farming's decent enough. He's got shipping facilities. He's also got agent stuff. He's got an alehouse, a brothel. Of course, the Pope has a brothel. And then in the Papal States itself, this is the other papal army, spearmen, peasants, urban militia, right? Now, again, this is the kind of stuff that we are going to be using too, but I think we could deal with it. So the Pope is 52. My Emperor is 55. We're sitting on 6 influence. We're going to lose some of that if we attack the Pope, because that's instant excommunication, right? The other problem with excommunication is unrest. The decrease of loyalty of your generals that comes as a result of losing influence. So far public order looks pretty good. I do not know exactly how much damage we're going to take in terms of that public order. I'm seeing, for example, in Friesland we get 82% zeal. That's gotta hurt, I think, because a very zealous province that's very Catholic, now the ruler is excommunicated. That's probably going to be very bad in terms of public order. Saxony, only 53% zeal. It's a little more manageable. But why do we have such high zeal? Franconia is at 96. Swabia 65. 73. 88. 97%. What is going on here? We're seeing some 96% zeal. Maybe we don't. It's 100%. Maybe we don't want to do this. Because my understanding is that zeal becomes a problem when you've got a lot of it in a province that does not match the religion of your faction. And that would be the case if we're excommunicated. Well, the other thing we've got going is this. We've got one more season to get a crusade. Now, I think, if I remember correctly, I started building this when Novgorod was around here. and they were more of a threat. And I thought we did the crusade to Pomerania. We're going to do one more to Prussia. We're going to do another one to Livonia. I mean, I guess we could do a crusade to Livonia. We could move through Hungarian territory. That could weaken them. Of course, their zeal is much lower than mine. And in some of these places, it's downright pathetic. So we would probably be losing troops. But one consequence of sending a crusade through Hungarian territory is that they might try to stop it, and they could get excommunicated, and that could be really nice for us, right? So how about this? Let's wait for the crusade. Let's see what Livonia looks like. I think, let's send our princess, in fact, up to Livonia. And just see what's up there. And we'll take this all under careful advisement. The other thing that I've been doing is spending a bit of money. We've got some mercs here in Bohemia, and we're sort of building up a little bit of our defenses because I expect the Hungarians are going to counterattack, and I do want to be ready for that. Let's go with another urban militia here. We're just training up some stuff, just some kind of stuff. We've got no allies. If we do get excommunicated, we do, of course, have to worry about the other issue, which is, okay, in addition to loss of influence, in addition to the public unrest, in addition to that, we have the fact that other Catholic factions can crusade against us. However, the Danes cannot crusade, the Poles cannot crusade, the Hungarians cannot crusade. So that leaves the Italians, who do not have a chapter house, I don't think, unless they do somewhere far to the south. Let's see, who else is alive? The Spanish are alive. The English are alive. Let's see, any chapter houses here? I'm not seeing any. Well, there's one. So they could build a crusade in a few years and send it at me. The French could theoretically get one going, but it's a long ways off. And I think that's about it. I guess the Sicilians still exist. Yeah, they do. So if they've got a chapter house in Malta, theoretically they could send one my way as well. So that's another, these are all considerations. And finally, I've decided that we've got a bunch of troops here in the Holy Land that are not doing us that much good. The time of crusades is now over in terms of glorious achievement points, and I don't feel like I need these guys here. We are currently allied with the Golden Horde. They are our only ally. And hopefully they are going to be busy fighting the Byzantines, trying to hold their new territories, and maybe attacking the Egyptians with whom they are not currently allied. Hopefully those things will keep them too busy to attack me. If they do, maybe we can hold out, right? We've got a bunch of Turcopoles here. I'm training more of them. So this could all, this could all just be fine. And I don't think the Egyptians are going to try anything either because they've got tiny numbers. So what I do have is a bunch of troops here that I've decided we can do without. And that would be these mercenary units as well as this guy from Antioch. I'm going to get them together into a single stack here. And we're going to do something with them because, as you can see, these guys do have quite the range. We can get them up to Kiev, we can get them up to Moldavia, we can get them to Croatia, Serbia, we can get them right to Venice, Rome, the Papal States. So these are all things we can do. Let's see what the computer is going to have to say about all of that. Okay. The Spanish are now eliminated. All right, well, that's one fewer faction that could crusade against me. All right, we've got a Prince Rudolph, and King of Poland has regretfully declined my marriage proposal. Okay, Prince Rudolph is, he's a 3-star. Chinless wonder, unfortunately. Okay, so this is the army under Lord Mandorf, Duke of Venice, that could, look at this guy. He's got quite good stats. Murderous temper, which is kind of decent. Great builder is good, keeps him nice and loyal. He's got 5 stars. He's got a ton of dread, a ton of acumen. He's like my best general. Skilled attacker and skilled defender, and affable. This guy's wonderful. But he's just languishing over here in the Holy Land. We've still got, okay, now they're going to get a boat into here. So now we can't do an amphibious landing up here or anywhere along the Adriatic. But we could still hit Moldavia, right? We could hit Kiev and hope that our ally, the pagan Golden Horde, joins us, because they could, theoretically. Thankfully, the Hungarians didn't attack us, but the Poles are still just holding on, and they're refusing to marry my princess. I'm going to keep trying. Okay, and Livonia is completely rebel-held. We've got our crusade marker here. This might be the last chance in a while we get to use it. And you know the other option is we could head south and hit Naples. Move through Papal lands. No, I'm not going to try it. Because that's going to be moving through our own territory. It's just going to screw up our own recruiting. Oh, the Danes are excommunicated, huh? So I guess we could hit them. It's tempting, but I don't think I want to start this. I think I want this to be a sort of a surprise attack a bit later. Well, here's the other concern. I've got 5 years to do the Holy Roman Empire move. If I start a crusade now, the problem with that is I will lose it if I get excommunicated, I think. So I think we just need to go for it. I think we just need to go for it right now. Let's get a couple of things happening. Let's get our single stack. Lord Mandorf, Duke of Venice. We're going to keep nice with the Byzantines for a little while. I'm going to send this guy as sort of a just see how this works kind of hit on Moldavia. And this is probably going to get us excommunicated. Let's see. I've also got a lot of armies that are just sitting around here in Pomerania, but I'm going to leave them this turn, and we're going to hit Poland, I think, the following turn. The armies here are quite good, and my armies are not that great, but I do have a 5-star general here, too. And I've got some good units, actually. But they're not upgraded. So we'll leave them there for now. We've got mercenaries here that we do want to use. And Prince Conrad is up here. So we'll I think we'll be good there. We've got 5 influence. We lost a point of influence, I guess. So do I want to hit Hungary now? I think maybe. Let's first deal with this ship. This could just make life easier. And see, what is this? Alright, he's just a 2-star, and I'm just a 3-star. It's the type of thing where we really need to throw in kind of everything simultaneously. So this guy's good, but I don't think the forces here are good enough to deal with this. So let's just hit from Bohemia and Austria into Hungary. We've got some feudal knights here. We've got some Swabian swords, even some chivalric sergeants. Some of this stuff is upgraded. And we'll throw in, like, all of this, as well as the mercenaries. And I'll train another unit of archers, and we'll put these guys here in Austria, right? That's what we'll do. We'll hit Hungary. Prince Rudolph, yeah, he can come in because I think having just a bit more heavy cav is always nice. And let's take all the mercenaries. Well, actually, I should probably disband a couple of those units because they're not doing me any good at all. 16 spearmen, 14 Arab infantry. Okay, let's go with some javelin. It's the usual garbage, right? It's just the usual sort of garbage run. Let's see. We've got some of these not mercenary, but mounted crossbowmen, which are decent enough. And let's go chivalric men at arms. Just get a few of them going. We do have another knight. I'll bring him down to Tuscany. And do I want to hit the Pope this turn or next? Let's see. We got some training going. Let's bring the army down there. Let's go with yet another urban militia because that's all I can train here. Tyrolia. Yep. Okay. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to lower the taxes. Yeah, this bodes very poorly for a looming excommunication, but let's get our emperor down near Italy, because I think we're going to want him. Yeah, okay. All right, that's what we're going to do. And we're training more Turcopoles down here just in case we might need them. Gosh. Now, I think that... Okay, good. So we get a hit on Kiev. I think that it's been about 12 years or so since our warning against hitting the Hungarians. My thought was, before I started sitting down and planning for this episode, my first thought was, okay, I'm going to do a smack at the Italians first to draw off the excommunication stick. But I just figured, we're gonna go for the Holy Roman Empire anyway. We're gonna get excommunicated regardless. Okay, so Kiev, they're withdrawing, very nice, and they're withdrawing out of Moldavia. I get it outright. That is awesome. 1,200 florins pillaged. Oh my gosh, 1 facility destroyed and 5 facilities damaged. So I think that means they got a big downgrade. So 5 of those buildings went down a tier. And Hungary, they retreat out of Hungary, so they've lost 3 settlements within a single turn, or 3 provinces rather. Some of them they're going to keep. And we won the naval battle there. Beautiful. Okay. All right, we got our warning. So that wasn't our XCOM. That's coming, don't worry. Okay, oh my gosh, Bonaventure. So many events and buildings completed. Okay, we've got zeal in northern Italy increased, and the Poles still do not want my daughter. All right, let's check the shipping lanes. All is looking good. All right, let's bring the king down here into Venice along with this unit of archers. Chivalric sergeants, I'll move them over. Public order's looking kind of okay. Yeah, let's get spears. I mean, it's ridiculous that some of my provinces don't even have spearmen. Okay, yes, mounted crossbows. Silesia. Now, check out his influence. All right, still decent. 5. So we can expect a big counterattack, but look at us. We've got them kind of... They've got good strength down here in the southwest, and then they've got 3 stacks up here. But so do I, and now I've got nothing preventing me from hitting all of them into Poland. So I think the goal is this guy here, Lord Mandorf, is going to have to see if he can hold out. Let's see, I don't think we don't even have the stone wall upgrade to keep in curtain wall here, and we don't have fantastic stuff either. But I guess we could go with a unit of mounted crossbows just to increase our range. We don't have anything like good infantry available here, so I don't think it matters all that much. But honestly, maybe we shouldn't be thinking about keeping Moldavia. This is really more of a raid anyway. I guess we could move like right into Carpathia. We can move right into Volhynia. They wouldn't expect that. If I go into Carpathia, that would sort of cut their land even more. So let's just throw everything in there. Okay, so this is going to be another excommunication right here. This is definitely it, and considering that is for sure going to be an excommunication, I think we have to go ahead and attack Rome. All right, so we're probably going to get the Pope to withdraw here. No one can attack me in Tuscany but the papacy, which if they do, you know, we'll just sort of turn around and hit them. Interestingly, the Byzantine emperor is now in Naples, so that could make our life more miserable. Or we could get him to withdraw to Sicily, right? I guess we could do that too. Okay, we want to force the Pope out of Rome. So let's get a good, let's get a decent stack together. I do want the trebuchet. And this is so many archers, and just extra random stuff. It's like more than enough. But honestly, most of the stuff that I have is just archers and random, like urban militia. So, let's see, what are you? A 1-star general. I don't think there's even any point, but I will take the feudal knight. Do I have anything else? It's like just a ton of urban militia. A horde of archers. This is probably not good. But I can take this stack and move it anywhere. I could take these guys. No, I can't because we don't have a port. I could take them. So we'll do that. And we do have some guys in the Middle East. So I'm thinking about just taking all these Turcopoles because I don't think we've ever used them. We've recruited a bunch, and I'm recruiting 4 more here in Antioch anyway. So I'm kind of tempted to take them, put them under the command of, like, this guy. And just pile them into Rome as well, so we've got at least, you know, something with some ranged, some mobility, and then we've got a decent general. Now, the loyalty here. Alright, he's quite loyal, actually. Yeah, let's do that. And let's go ahead and add some mercenary Turkoman horse, just for the irony of a Muslim unit here attacking the Pope in Rome. Alright. Now, the question, now do we want to hit Poland? I guess we could do like a feint attack. Let's see, Conrad is up here. Let's find my most loyal spear unit. I guess that's this guy. See, we can merge him together. So now we've got 100 men in Brandenburg. Yes, very good. And you know, we may as well take all of these guys, right? We got some useless things here, but what we kind of want to do is just force a big withdrawal. The thing I'm a little concerned about is obviously these big stacks of Polish. But hopefully they'll go for Poland or Volhynia. I don't necessarily want to keep Poland, right? I just want to mess up the Hungarians, push them into a civil war. Let's take all of them, all of them, all of them, and let's leave behind something. We don't have really any loyal people here. I guess we got to do this and that. again, yeah, this is all very dangerous because of the looming excommunication. So in terms of our public order, we're going to have some problems here. So this will all be very interesting. Let's see. I want to leave behind you and another, like, yeah, another 50. That's 94 men. And that'll get us over 100 comfortably. Nothing good for mercenaries. So all of you guys can come down. You know, I kind of think I'd rather have you in Austria, just so that you can be close to Venice and the papal situation. We do need to leave somebody behind in Pomerania. I guess it could be you with you. We've got two spear units just hanging out there. Okay, we do have some really good mercenaries here, though. All right, we're still making a lot of money. I mean, this is gonna tank, but we are doing kind of okay. Let's get a bunch of stuff. Sure, pile it all in. Okay. Very low taxes there. Very low taxes there. And everywhere else, everything else is looking fine. So hopefully what's going to happen is the Pope's going to withdraw. Just completely withdraw. Yeah, let's take the Genoese sailor. Hopefully he won't think to attack Tuscany. And then we'll hit them in the Papal States later. All right. All right, this is very momentous. All right, so they're counterattacking in Hungary and Kiev. They didn't even try to get Moldavia back, I don't think. Carpathia, they withdrew. And Hungary. So the King, Giza II, is attacking Prince Rudolf in Hungary. So we are going to have to see how that's looking, because they may... I don't know that they emptied that army. Oh, this is bad. I thought we were going to get this. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we can just withdraw at this point, right? Now they're going to be like right here. I guess we could deploy here and then get on this hill. Yeah, let's do it. That will be so obnoxious for them. They're going to be like right here. We can just run up to that point. All right, like literally. Okay, let's put some thought into this. Get our Swabians here. I want them kind of back and being defended. Okay. Cav, and horse archers. And javelins. Alright, everybody's going to run up here. And, yeah, let's... Cav goes up here. The Swabians get up on the hill. You guys get up here. Everybody's marching now, including the Secoli. They're just charging in. Oh, good for them. We'll throw in the Feudal Knights, I guess. You know, Spanish Javelinmen are actually kind of a fine unit to sacrifice here. My Feudal Knights do not start, like, killing these guys, and I will be a little disappointed. Okay. They're doing a really smart thing, aren't they? They're not just going to let me have the hill. And in fact, we're going to get kind of wrecked here by their cav. This is going to be very, very messy. Okay, their step cav is actually waiting. Let's get the Royal Knights up and kind of out of the way. gosh, this is so brutal. I feel like I say this all the time, but the AI is sometimes capable of really surprising you. Get the general up here. We want to get our hill if we at all can, and we're going to withdraw those javelinmen. Let's get our assembly point flag up here. Now, our reinforcements are going to come from way down there, so this is going to be really quite rough. Let's get my archers here. Secondly, feudal knights running away, so that's obviously really bad. Let's see what we can do. I mean, here's the king. Maybe a nice little wedge attack there. Maybe a nice little arbalest hit. Maybe we'll get lucky. All right, and they're not like holding off or anything, but they are. Okay, yeah, no, the king is pretty decent, I guess. And there goes the army. Okay, they did good. They just outplayed me. I mean, this is a bit of a risk, wasn't it? Like just trying to get up the hill right in front of them. So I'm just very pleased that the AI didn't let me have that, in a way. And yeah, we're not going to win this for sure. This is going to be real bad. But probably should have withdrawn. The question now is, what does Poland look like? I think we're just going to withdraw. We're going to abandon this. Let's just get everybody withdrawing. We got a few more reinforcements. We're just going to triple speed this to get back to the campaign map. Okay. Let's check at the stats here. We killed 192 men. Not good. Not good at all. Prince Ludwig, -3 Valor there. So that was Hungary. That was us trying to do some damage. Now they've got 6 stacks here. So they're going to withdraw out of Poland. They're just going to give us that. Oh, wow. This still might be really bad for the Hungarians in the sense that they've lost like 1, 2... No, they got Kyiv back, of course. So they lost 1, 2, 3 provinces, and they got back 1. Right? So they still might be having influence problems, but they still got a lot of men. Okay, so the Rome, the papacy have withdrawn, and we should just get this castle outright because the Pope is part of the army. He's the faction leader, and he's not going to hold up in the castle. So we get an extra 2,600 florins in pillage there. We got some ransom demands. 368 men, a bunch of nobles. Albrecht der Bar is one of them. That's half of our income. I'm not paying that. We've been excommunicated. So let's see. I mean, is this, let's see. Okay, we've got 6 influence. We've got some public order problems. Our income is still doing okay. We've still got the Holy Land. We've got public order problems in the north of our territory. Very interesting. Let's see. Can we get it? Is there any way we can try to hold on to those territories? We can just barely hold Brandenburg. I mean, Moldavia we're going to lose anyway, right? And he's still got 5 crowns. Okay, the thing we need to do now, in order to end the excommunication, there are basically a few different options. Obviously, we need to have either our faction leader die, which is very close to happening, right? That's part of the reason I decided to go this route in the first place. And or we need to have the Pope die. And that could be very close to happening too. Now, if the Pope dies and we're at war with him, that's still a problem. So what we want to do is end the war with the Pope. And there are a few different ways we could do that. See, we may have to leave behind some of our copious amounts of urban militia. There we go. That's just enough. Yeah, let's get another Genoese guy here and go over here to Venice. So the way I'm thinking about handling this is, we've got the Pope. We want him to lose on the battlefield, but not die on the battlefield, because we don't want to actually eliminate this faction. What I want to try here is something that I've read about, but haven't yet done myself. And that is, if you get the faction leader into the castle, you leave him in there, he's under siege, but then you pull back. You withdraw the siege. We take our ships away from the Adriatic coast on that same turn. The game then treats it as though you don't have contact with the faction anymore, right? So we're no longer keeping them under siege, but the following year we should get an automatic ceasefire. That's what I've read about. I don't think I've ever done this myself, but we're going to see if that works, to end the war while keeping the faction alive, and that way we don't have to have a big, giant papal emergence happen, right? Because that's what will happen. The Pope will reemerge. It'll happen without fail, and so I'm a little concerned about that. So we've got our Emperor here. I don't think I want to use... Well, he does have some heavy cav, but we've got other kinds of cav. The Pope has basically no cav. In terms of command, he's as good. And he is actually giving a morale boost, even despite being strange. Yeah, and in fact, it would be better for him to lead than for this guy, because he's actually getting Unhinged Loon. No, actually, no. Brave Beyond Belief. +3 Valor, +3 Morale, -3 Morale, so that's even, and +2 Morale. So it's better to have him command than the Emperor. Even though he's an Unhinged Loon, he's Brave Beyond Belief. So that's, what an interesting character, right? Alright, here we want to start moving stuff into Switzerland, and we've got quite good loyalty. I'm a little surprised at that. Maybe I can do without? No, we need all of them. Okay, and as for Bavaria, Franconia, we just got to train. You know, I think one urban militia would be enough, but let's go. Spearmen up here. Saxony, we're just going to keep going with the big units. Don't want to lose Saxony. Friesland, let's just crank out archers. And in Silesia, all we really need is something. Let's go with some woodmen. We haven't used these guys. Okay. And yeah, let's go mercenaries. I think we're going to be counterattacked here. That's my guess. Now this army, we're also going to get counterattacked here, because they could definitely do both things. I think they can hit Wallachia, yeah, from Hungary, so... But I'm not sure that they will. Let's do this. Let's just do that. Theoretically, we could withdraw into Moldavia, assuming you don't get a big rebellion there this turn. But you know what? Actually, yeah, let's go back to Moldavia, because they can't counterattack here. And we'll just give them that back. Okay, and because we've got a nice corridor still, let's just throw in some of this stuff. Order foot soldiers and these other guys. Let's throw them at Kiev. and see if the Golden Horde invades, and if not, we'll just retreat back to Moldavia. How about that? Let's get a Spearmaker at least in Lorraine. The western borders are doing surprisingly well. Okay, I think we can possibly deal with this. All right, we get a big attack into Poland. Of course, the Poles chose that moment, you know, to invade Poland. Okay, we're going to get hit. Okay, Catholic bishop turned his tables on his attacker, an assassin in Moldavia. That's fine. Well, Hungarians, yes. See, that's what I was hoping for. Beautiful. So the Golden Horde sees that we're attacking. They're my ally. They jump in. And the Golden Horde get to keep it. Theirs is the largest force in the battle. Fine, I'm not even mad. Perfect, perfect. Okay, Carpathia lost. That's fine. And Poland. Now, these guys are the force from the Council of Support. It doesn't say anything about the Poles here. I don't know if they're allied with the Hungarians. I'd be rather pissed if they were. This is their king, though. Okay, so this is King Giza II. Okay, he does have a ton of reinforcements, I guess. Yeah, okay. But we've got a lot, too. The total size of the enemy forces are 4,900. So some of that is going to be the Poles, right? Who have, what, 1,000, maybe? 2,000? Jeez, do I want to fight this? I've got so much garbage, but if I withdraw, let's do that. Let's withdraw. Let's do the smart thing. We'll abandon the province. We'll see if these two end up fighting, or if the Poles are just going to get it. Let's see. Poland lost. Okay, Golden Horde are hitting Constantinople. Hungarians withdraw from Venice, and here we're doing the attack on the Papal States. All right, Pope Romano I, no stars. None of these guys have any valor. Very good. They do have armor, but those are just the most basic armor upgrades. I'm going to put the trebuchet right at the end here. I don't think we're going to need it, or they're probably not going to allow us to use it to its fullest. But I think I do want my cavalry out front. Let's swap out stuff like these urban militia. And they've got a lot of siege stuff. You know, let's see how this goes, because theoretically, you know, charging a bunch of ballistas could be bad. But I think if we rush it, given that they've got no mobility, very little cav of their own, like no archers, I think that's good. We're going to clear it with the mercenaries and the Turcopoles. Okay. So, yeah, let's do that. Okay, they've got a nice little hill, it turns out. We'll get over on the right. And let's see what else we're going to do. Start moving over here. They've got some spears. Okay, and then we've got our Swabians, which I'll just put back here. And then archers. A couple of Genoese sailors. Again, I'm going to have them kind of back and to the right. Again, we don't want to kill the Pope here. We want to get him to retreat to the castle. Alright, let's take these two groups. How do we want to do this? We're going to be coming under fire either way, so let's just rush the light cav up. Bring up the infantry. Bring everybody up to follow. Yeah, we're gonna take some damage. We'll charge in. Yeah, their infantry is going to want to get involved here. Alright, let's at least break the catapults. Break, break, break. There's one. Get out. Distracted the siege stuff. We're pulling them down off the hill. Separating the army. I think this is all good. Let's get around in the back. I'd love to... Okay, the catapults are withdrawing, it looks like. Let's kind of halt the feudal sergeants. We don't want them to get too far ahead. Alright, chivalric sergeant's going to hit the urban militia. Start getting our swords over in that direction. I really don't want the Pope to be... Well, I guess I could have him chasing my Turkomans, right? I mean, that's actually fine, Turkopoles. Yeah, I'll just sit you right there, and you'll be bait. Alright, we're going to get up on the hill. Spearmen are going to be losing badly. Okay, we've got a very strung out and weird battle line now. We do have to actually win this battle here. Bring these Turkopoles around. There we go. We got some of them running away. We want to have very few men left alive is the goal. Like, obviously, right? We want to have a lot of these guys just get cut down. Alright, now we will engage at will, spin around. I thought you guys were skirmishing away. Oh, they're engage at will. Okay. Fair enough. Let's get them around here. Sandwich the arbalesters. And you guys are also on engage at will. Back up. Spearmen can rally. General is stuck right in, winning easily currently. And I keep taking these guys off skirmish so I can micromanage them and then forgetting to do exactly that, so... Grab these ballistas, and let's see. Hit those peasants. Very good. Arbalesters running away. Got some very nice routing. Including our own feudal men-at-arms. That's not the very nice routing I was looking for, but let's charge down here in the back of these spearmen. And we've still got a bunch of infantry here. Route them. Okay, we got some urban militia running. I thought we were going after arbalesters, but that's fine. Let's get the general. He's got fantastic valor. We are going up against spearmen here, but Kind of tempted to leave him in. Maybe not once these militia sergeants start appearing, though. Turcopulls, yes. Chasing those ballistic crew, I guess that's fine. We've got a crazy all over the map kind of fight here. Not obviously the best. Well, we do have reinforcements that I've been forgetting about. Let's call on our feudal knights. Now the Pope is somewhere off in the woods, I assume. That was the last direction I saw him going. Okay, yep, he's coming back to chase off my Genoese sailors. Let's hit these spearmen, get some routing going around this infantry group here. Feudal knights. All right, so what's he gonna do now? He's getting near the end of his reinforcements if he's not there already. I can send my chivalric sergeants after him if he decides to get into a fight here. Sure, let's turn around and hit him with the feudal men-at-arms. It's not a good fight, of course. But we can also hit him in the back with my general, who's got a ton of valor here. And again, we want him to rout, not to die. Feudal Knights just cresting that hill. All right, down to 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Okay, good, pull out. Let him go. Don't bother shooting him. Just let him go. That should be the enemy fleeing the field. Yes, we get it. And let's see. All right, I think that's everybody who could be chased is being chased. All right, so we'll just speed it up. There's our victory there. Let's see. Do we want to execute the soldiers? Yeah, I think so. Otherwise, there's a chance they might ransom them back into the castle. We'll just go for a very, very tiny garrison, hopefully. Papal States conquered. They've got to keep there. That is now under siege. Okay. All right. All kinds of stuff. Let's now see if this works. Hold out for about 4 years. He's 56. He's got a small garrison. We are going to get our ships away from the Papal States. We don't want to have a border with the province there. And we want to pull our men out. I'm going to pull them out right to... Let's see, I kind of feel like we got to split this up. We want to defend Rome. And then we get 2 years to get Naples, which is looking like that may not happen. Which is a big bummer. Because... we're not at war with the Byzantines yet, and I kind of don't feel like I want to start it. They are a big part of the reason that we're still making money. So I think we've got to we've got to call that the limit, right? Just get Rome. That's worth 2 or 3 points, And I don't think there's any way we're going to be able to get Naples anyway. It's just there's a lot of men here, and we've got a lot of problems. So we're going to pull out to Venice to give them some more troops. Pull out this way to Rome. And yeah, I think we'll call that good. We'll bring some Genoese sailors down here. And we can train some stuff, actually. We can train some... What do we have here? Oh, we've got Valor 1 assassins and the regular spies, which I think until this point we've not been able to train. So let's go for a bunch of spies and get them out and about. Okay, very low taxes there. Hopefully we don't get a big rebellion. Hopefully we get peace, ceasefire with the Pope in the following season. So, what are we looking at here? Okay, we failed in Hungary. Hungary looks, though, like it is now completely abandoned. We're not in a position to take it. Oh, where'd those guys go? I thought they were going to retreat to Moldavia. They retreated all the way back down here. Yep, there they are. Okay, kind of pointless, but let's do that. Let's bring it back up to Moldavia. I think it is more important for us to have men up here to hurt the Hungarians. Are we at war with the Poles? We are. Damn it. Wouldn't you know it? And they're allied with the Hungarians. Should I have fought that battle? I don't think so. I'm half tempted to pull out of Pomerania because what's going to happen now, I fear, is that they're both going to pile on. Well, the other thing I could do is just throw everybody... I don't have that many people. Like here, this is good. You know, we're getting a little more all the time, but it's just, it's never quite enough, right? We do have mercenaries, and, you know, we've got some pretty decent ones, actually. Okay, so who can we send to Croatia with the Emperor? You know, at least I can say that we're dealing with some surprising loyalty among our troops. Much better than I would have thought. Good runner. Well, this guy is 314 men. Could bring him down here just to hold Austria so we can send everybody down at Croatia, I guess. I mean, they could strike out at Bohemia too. Now, the thing that I'm not sure about, now that I think about this, I invaded Poland, right? And these guys were on the same side. But how was that possible? Because they must have been invading Poland too. I didn't have this place under siege, did I? Oh no, maybe I did. I think I did. They counterattacked. Okay, so if I attack now, it will only be the Hungarians. Maybe that's what I do. I've got all these mercenaries, right? I've got really no reason not to throw them all at this. But we hit them here, and we can also hit them here. Like with this force also. Or we could attack Volhynia with this force with the idea of drawing them off. I think I'd rather hit Carpathia. And we'll just keep training some stuff as long as we have it, I suppose. And let's hold off on the border fort there. I don't want to make life harder for me if I want to get spies over there at some point. So we'll just wait. We are going to be losing a little bit of money, but not too much. The big question here is what's going to happen if, on the following turn, If we've done this right, we should have a ceasefire with the Pope. Okay, we get assassinated in Prussia, of course. Hungarians retreat from Carpathia, which means they're retreating from Poland, too. That's shocking. And we got it outright. Okay, Papal States lost. Haha! Alright, check it out. No longer at war with the Pope. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, it worked flawlessly. Okay. Let's see. We'll take you because we're at war with the Hungarians currently. Still excommunicated. But 60 years old, we're not going to be excommunicated for much longer, but we own Poland now. Okay, I don't want Poland. I don't care. The Poles can have Poland. I'm going to pull out of this completely. With all of my men, we're going to go into Hungary. This is hills and flatland territory. We're going to move all of our forest stacks right down here. Moldavia, we could kind of maintain for a little while. I don't know that I necessarily care. What could we do here? If we keep these stacks here, that may encourage them to split up, right? They may hit us in Croatia, they may hit us in Carpathia, or both, and that may mean, again, that their king is going to withdraw yet again. Eager to retreat. That's what I've wanted to see. Great. Yeah, let's just stick here. I mean, on the other hand, we could go for Wallachia too. That'd give them yet another thing to think about. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? I imagine we're going to lose Moldavia anyway. What's this? One prince, a trebuchet, and a couple of cav. Granted, these are all better units. Yeah, it's probably more useful to have this army here. Next turn, we'll do something else with that. Okay. Let's see what the Poles are going to do. Okay, they're hitting Croatia hard. Carpathia. I think... Okay, so they're attacking Carpathia. Jeez, I think we could take this. Jeez, I hope we could. 124 men, but notice how cautious I am with every single battle here. Okay. Yeah, totally fine. Totally fine. That's their Prince Istvan. With a bunch of cav, they've got a couple of units of Royal Knights. Some good horse archers. And they're going to fight in the rain to negate our archer advantage. But we've still got a very nice terrain advantage. I'm not going to go too high up the hill either because I think this will be just fine the way it is. Here we've got our mounted sergeants on the left. Let's get our crossbowmen and Zekali together here. Oh yeah, trebuchet right there. We are definitely in range of that, but they're going to have to come to us. Let's move back up just a little bit. I'm a little concerned. Let's aim at the trebuchet. Is it just me, or are they not firing? I don't think they're firing. So maybe we're actually not in range. Oh, what a great miss. Trying to hit the trebuchet, we accidentally hit 2 Royal Knights. have our Bulgarian brigands out front, I think. The other archers will just kind of move to the right. Alright, catching the Royal Knights with our feudal sergeants. And let's see, these mounted sergeants do have 3 valor. Did this exactly attack on their own accord? It almost seems like they did. Let's aim at their general with the crossbows. Got a couple of Vikings here too that I'm thinking could do some good. Those Royal Knights are just cutting right through my feudal sergeants, which seems always to catch me off guard. Like you can have these massive units of spearmen, but sometimes knights charging uphill can still really easily deal with them. So now we'll get the Vikings over there. How about that? And yeah, let's see what Vikings can do charging uphill. There we go. That should be just about the end here. We've got some cav, some horse archers remaining. That's going to be the issue. So let's get our archers over on that. This is a siege situation, so these guys are going to get back to the castle, it looks like. They may be attempting to get back to the castle. Well, not quite yet. I just don't think we're going to catch them. There's going to be like 2 guys left in Carpathia. This is step-heavy cav. Well, okay, some of them are going to get away. If they march off the field, okay, I guess not. Yeah, there's going to be like 1 or 2 guys. Alright, let's just wrap this up here quickly. Looks like they're going to throw themselves into our arrows and then eventually decide to withdraw. There they go. So that's not going to get us the castle, unfortunately. But yeah, pillaged Hungary. They left without a fight there. Crazy. All right. Fair enough. But we are being attacked here with a massive force. 5,000 Hungarians attacking us here in Croatia. I'm just going to withdraw from this one. I mean, I know I run into the danger of getting some of these bad vices myself. But, you know, I've got an army that, on the face of it, looks like it maybe could handle this, but I've just been burned so many times. These are some good upgrades. So we're going to abandon Croatia. I'm not going to bother with that. Looks like the Byzantines starting a bit more of a fight here against the Egyptians, or vice versa, in the Middle East. Yeah, the Byzantines are very much still a factor. But we did manage to get a bit of cash in ransom, which is nice. Oh, wow. Okay. See, that's the thing. You get one province lost. Sometimes that's all it takes to really mess up public order. All right, we've got the biggest military, and Carpathia is still under siege. Whoa. Conflicting music. Let's, Got the campaign music and the other music happening. So we get our points. We get some more points for the Holy Roman Empire, just not that last one, just not Naples. Well, you know, it worked out in the sense that we're not at war with the Pope currently. We've got Rome pretty much in a straightforward manner, and while we are excommunicated, we're doing surprisingly well. We've got actually a ton of influence. I thought the excommunication would bring with it a sort of a hard-coded hit to influence, but that seems not to be the case. Certainly if you're not attacking and winning some provinces, I guess, at any rate. But we do have a couple more enemies now. Well, we've got one more enemy. We've got the Polish, who are just sitting tight on our borders very frustratingly. I was hoping that they would take this Poland on a platter and just move in and take that. I wouldn't mind them being a new neighbor in the east, but what I don't like is them having just this sitting on my border. It's very frustrating. So they'll expand at some point. They might expand into Pomerania, but, you know, we'd then be able, I think, to deal with them later. So I think this makes a good point for us to end the episode. We're currently excommunicated, but that's not going to last too much longer because we've got a 61-year-old king. We've got a 58-year-old pope. One of these guys is going to bite it, and then we'll be back in the good graces, or at least the neutral graces, of the church again. So, some interesting stuff to come. We've got, of course, these big, huge armies of Poles and massive stack of Hungarians, which could do all sorts of stuff, and we'll just have to see what that is going to look like in the next episode. So I hope you'll join me for that. Until the next one, everybody, take care.